Shazam, I say. And not only that, it's time for... Boom, crash, bang. Oh. Whew. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, let's get the phone out of the way. Ling, 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 ling. Sorry, gotta get the phone. Yes. Yeah, we know. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, bye. Oh. Okay. Once again, from a secret, undisclosed location, hidden somewhere deep in the bowels of historic and snowy downtown St. John's, Newfoundland, comes in the Library of Graphic Literature with your host, me, Wallace Ryan. So, how's everyone doing there today? We've got a big stack of books, so I shall not tarry long. Don't forget Thursday Comics this week. Actually, it's posted and up there now. Where we talk about the best 80s and 90s independent books. This is our third king size edition in a row, so it's over an hour's worth of chitter chatter from me and my good pal Dennis Osborne about the best of the 80s and 90s black and white and color independents. Check it out. Oh yes, and of course this week, or well actually last week, we got actually, because of the way we're on an island here, we got last week's comics yesterday and this week's comics today. So it was a madhouse. It was a madhouse. And in last week's comics came this is the special David Mack cover for Hollow Heart by Paul Allor and my good buddy Paul Tucker, artist extraordinaire. You got to check out his work. He's one of the up and coming artists. Well, he's here. Go out and buy it. So there's a couple of different covers. I just happen to have this one. This is the special foil edition, and David Mack did it for the buys. So looks pretty good. Go out there, and it's been getting good reviews. So I'm not just blowing smoke. So check it out and buy yourself a copy. Support my pal. So oh god, what a week. Well, I'm here actually in my house coat because I actually got the flu today, which is a real pain because I actually had a COVID test yesterday and I'm COVID free, negatory, but as they discovered, I'm asthmatic. So I've joined the Brotherhood of the Puffer. So to all you other asthmatics out there, I now know what you're going through. So peace and good breath to y'all, and hug an asthmatic today for those out there who aren't, including me. So yeah, what a week it's been. So I was down at the store helping my good pal Carrie clear of Downtown Comics unpack the shipment and all that. Now I was wearing a mask because I had the flu, and I kept working until she finally said, "Go home." So I'm home here dealing with the flu. So I figured, hey, what a perfect time to do my show. Okay, so it's a cream of Earl Grey tea, which is not too bad at all. So we're going to get right down to it. No delays. So, a lot of good books this week. A lot of really good books. So let's start out with a big happy helping of the Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 4. Yeah, I can feel my breathing's a lot better since I got the puffer too, actually. So, because I actually could hear even myself wheezing and all that the past few weeks anyway. I don't know if anyone else had noticed it, but I did. I could feel it too. But I feel a lot better today, except for the flu. Darn, you just can't do it, hey? And of course, the COVID is actually running rampant out here on the island. Somehow, we were doing really good. We hadn't had cases in a long time, and then somehow got in and got around. So, and I got to give the government props because I had my test yesterday, and when I got up this morning, logged in and had the results. So, not bad. Anyway, back to the main thing, which is, of course, X-Men Omnibus. Yay! This one has a good variety of artists from, of course, it's Chris Claremont for most of it, except for one issue, which is written by Barry Windsor Smith and drawn by him, one of my favorites. It's Life, Death, a love story, beautiful story. Now the pencilers layout, John Romita Jr. does a good bit of it. Al Milgrom does the Kitty Pryde and Wolverine section of this. Paul Smith does the X-Men and Alpha Flight. Paul Smith, love him, love him, love him. The incredible Steve Laiola annual number 8 is in this, which I loved. I was talking to someone recently about Steve Laiola, and he was saying, oh, he'd seen him ink on, oh God, it was one of the comics I was talking about recently, and I said, could sort of see where where he was going to become an inker of note in the 70s. And I said, well, not only that, I said, check out his work on Warlock. A lot of people don't realize that he did a lot of the work on Warlock, and actually he inked a lot of the early Howard the Ducks. So he's definitely a big talent, worth checking out. Steve, we love you out here. and yeah, I loved his Coyote. Especially I think it was the second issue. I think it was a masterpiece. But yeah, an amazing talent. Love his stuff. Love him. Love him. If he was here now, I'd give him a hug. Anyway, so yeah, a bit of John Romita Jr. Now, I still, and I know some people are going to be angry at it. The John Romita, I'm more of a fan of later John Romita Jr., not the newer John, the older John Romita. I like the mature John Romita Jr. style. The style in this, I mean, it's okay, and it's serviceable and all that, but he really didn't cook with oil until later on in the series. As a matter of fact, I think towards the end of this is when he really started to do it. Yeah, even looking at it here, yeah, not bad. But yeah, I think he really, although, the more I look at it too, yeah, the more you can sort of see where he was really starting to do it there. So anyway, this is let me get up and give you a close-on look there. So like I say, still serviceable enough. But I love the, as many of you know, I'm a huge Barry Windsor Smith fan, and this is the great Kitty Pryde story. Al Milgrom, very, very well done. And some more John Romita Jr. Absolutely stunning. Good work and all that. And then along here somewhere comes the Life Death story. I don't know if I've already passed it. And there's the Steve Laiola. Beautiful piece of work. So worth picking up. And there's the Paul Smith work, which is beautiful in and of itself. Jeez, I must bypass the Life Death story somewhere in here. But anyway, yeah, the Life Death story, and did a second one too in that series. Beautiful. Yeah, there it is. Amazing. Anyway, definitely worth your while. Okay. So, I'll go through the rest of these a bit faster. Okay. Now, time for a sip of tea here. Delish. Now, of course, here is Volume 1 of the Marvel Masterworks series, collecting the inimitable Howard the Duck. One of my favorite ducks, actually, to be quite honest. Always did love him. And this starts off with it actually starts off with Val Merrick, and where he creates the Howard the Duck, and from there it jumps to Giant Size Man Thing. Which was funny, I never thought about the title until I was older. And the Frank Brunner, Steve Gerber run here. Brunner did an amazing job at Howard. Loved his version of him. There we go again. Incredible run. So he did the first three. Two stories. I think it was two. Yeah, 4 and then 5. Yeah, that's right. Hell cow. The first 2 short stories, and then Frank Brunner is listed as co-plotter along with Steve Gerber on Howard the Duck #1. Another wonderful story. Then he did. Brunner did work on the second one, and that's when Steve Leola comes on. And as a matter of fact, you can even tell there was a lot of work done on this one too by Jim Starlin, who helped him out with it. And then from the next issue was a fill-in one from John Buscema, which it's okay. But from then on came a man who would become very synonymous with it, Gene Colan. And the ironic thing was, this was at the same time that Gene Colan was doing Tomb of Dracula. So here he is doing Tomb of Dracula, and he's doing this Duck comic. Now, to me, no one was really able to do Howard quite the way Steve Gerber and Gene Colan did Howard. A masterpiece of satire. This was the fill-in issue there for the... But yeah, absolutely stunning. A great comic. I know satire is lost on some people these days, but this was a masterpiece of it. High satire for sure. But yeah, check it out. Howard the Duck. Definitely one of my favorite comics of the 1970s. Oh, and speaking of the 1970s, sippity-doo-da-day, we have Richard Dragon Kung Fu Fighter. I know, not a particularly classic title, but I got this for a couple of reasons. First of all, I love the art. This was the first issue, first sensational issue. The art in that was done by Leopoldo Duranonia. I'm probably massacring the name, but Leopold, oh my god, it's an amazing piece of art. And then the second issue was actually done by the King, Jack King Kirby. Oh no, hang on a sec. Second issue actually was done by Al Milgrom, Jim Starlin, Alan Weiss, and Al Milgrom. So the second issue was pretty kick-ass. Then the third issue was done by Jack the King Kirby. So it was now he didn't write it, which was unusual at the time. It was written by Denny O'Neil, and ink by D. Bruce Berry. But yeah, it was, you know, it's a minor title, but for those first three, and the second issue after that was Rick Estrada with Wally Wood on ink, so that one was pretty good too. But like I say, he almost reminds me of Leopoldo of Simonson in a way. Beautiful artwork. And then Sterling and Weiss, yeah, I guess. Another great one. Then we get into Kirby. And then we get into the Wally Wood inked stuff. And then from then on, it's basically Rick Estrada by himself for the most part. And, you know, it's not bad. But, yeah, one of the classics from my childhood. So, one of the things when I started the library was I was going to make sure that I had, because I sold as I've said many times, I sold my childhood collection when I opened my comic book shop, and one of the things I always said when I decided to create a library of graphic literature of hardcovers was, if I came across any comic that I had when I was a kid, I was going to buy it, and that qualifies for that. But some good art in the early issues. I didn't really buy many of the later issues. Now, this is from Rebellion. It's the treasury of British comics, and it's 2 exciting and explosive war stories illustrated by Hugo Pratt. Dun-dun-dun-dun. The man we all know from Corto Maltese. So it just looked too cool to pass up. I figured, okay, I'm gonna give it a shot. But yeah, nice little hardcover book, only $26.99 in Canada, $19.99 in the United States. So check it out. Another nice little book there. I'll give you a quick show of that, just to let you see that it actually does have art inside of it. But yeah, love Hugo Pratt's work. Look at the spotting in this. Great use of black and white. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, check it out. Definitely worth reading. Night of the Devil, by the way, it's called. Now, really getting through them here now. Now this book is a book that I already have. But the version that I have of this is in black and white. This is a newly colorized version of it, colored by the artist. I do believe it was, yeah. Yeah, by Eddie Campbell, the artist on Alan Moore's From Hell. I met Eddie Campbell years ago, actually. I had a signing down in New York City at a bar somewhere, and I went to, and really nice chap, had a chat with him and all that, and I bought his book and got it autographed, and it was funny because he said, you gonna stick around for a drink? And it was just like, well, I bought your book and that's all the money I had left. So I had a little chat with him and headed off. The ironic thing is that this book was banned in Australia, where good old Eddie is from, which is kind of ironic. But yeah, From Hell, one of my favorite Alan Moore books. It's, of course, his retelling of the Jack the Ripper story. Very grotesque for those, of course, who aren't into this type of thing, but it was just absolutely brilliantly written. And drawn, too. One of my favorite. It's cool in black and white, though. It's, in color. It's a very subtle recoloring, which is kind of cool, rather than going full on. The problem sometimes when they recolor black and white artwork or recolor older artwork, there you go, have a look at it, is that they, I've seen it like on some old Marvel comics where they recolor, say, some classic Kirby stories or stuff like that, and it just friggin' ruins it, because it's just using full-on coloring, using Photoshop, photorealistic coloring on comics that were intended to be colored using the comic book palette of the time. It just don't work. So for you colorists out there who are redoing old stuff, stick to the old palette. Do it in the old fashioned. It's one thing if it's comics from the 90s on up, in which there was Photoshop galore, but I mean before that, when it was the old days, and I don't even want to talk about the old way of coloring, but still stick to that. Stick to the material, because it was drawn, to me, when the artist was drawing it, they drew it with that in mind. Okay, let's wind up here now. The Collected Topi. This is Volume 5, one of the European legends of comics. He's influenced so many people over the years. I'm not even going to go into how many different people he influenced, but his art is absolutely stunning. Did I say it was stunning? Because it is stunning. Look at that. I mean, holy line. Now here's using line work properly. Every line actually means something, contributes to it. Sometimes you see some artists and they just go crazy with the line. It's like the line work is making up for something that it did bad in a former life. Okay, 2 books left to go here now, folks. Time for a quick cup of tea. Quick sip of tea, sorry. Next from Hermes Press is Frank Thorne's complete Ghita of Allor. Dun, 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 dun. Now, I'm not going to show this off to you because there's all kinds of nudity and sex and all that, and I tried to keep this like a PG show, but still, it's absolutely amazing. This is he got into Ghita after he finished doing Red Sonja for Marvel, and this is kind of like his version of Red Sonja, but gone completely round the bend, but beautifully drawn. It's all black and white in here, and it's so worth checking out. I was always a big fan of Frank Thorne. Absolutely beautiful. So check it out. Don't let your kids see it. It's definitely not meant for kids. And now, last but not least, definitely not least, comes from the good folks at Titan, comes the Michael Moorcock Library, Elric, with Philip Jurier and Cawthorne. Jim Cawthorne is, I mean, I like his artwork and all that, but I'm much more of a fan of Jurier. Cawthorne's work is, it's different. It's a little bit muddy in ways, but Jurier, his stuff is absolutely stunning. So loved his stuff. Like a few breasts and stuff like that in that there too. But yeah, so check it out. I got just about all of the Elric books from Titan, the Elric Library. But yeah, definitely really cool. I'll give you a quick show of that, and then we'll wind up. This is the Cawthorne stuff, and then this is the Jurier stuff. I mean, look at that. Amazing. Check out Philip Jurier, look him up, and buy something by him. Anyway, folks, that's it for this week. I'm going to go and relax, because I am, like I say, feeling fluish, and I should take care of myself. Anyway, that being said, it's time to boom tube my way out of here. Don't forget to buy Paul Tucker's Hollow Heart and all the rest. Okay. and Thursday Comics. Don't forget to listen to that.